Hi, I'm Heather Telford and I'm gel printing with plants again. This time I'm adding some extra details through a stencil. I'm using the large 9 by 11¼ inch gel plate and some blue and green paints from Liquitex. If you watched my last video, you would have seen this technique where I just put a mix of dark paints on the plate first and then press the plants into that dark paint. You really don't want the paint too thick on the plate because you want to be able to lift all the paint when it comes to pull the final print. And if the paint is too thick, you might lift part of it and leave part of it on the plate. That's why I'm taking some of it off and then just putting it on my scrap paper to the side. What I sometimes do is have an extra gel plate to the side, so I don't waste the paint. It goes straight onto a second gel plate. I've got some ivy this time, which is a little delicate, and so it does get kind of floppy after you've gel printed it several times, but it does have nice texture on the backs of the leaves, and I love getting some of those little curly bits at the end of the stems too. So I'm just pressing them down lightly with my fingers, trying not to get fingerprints. Again, I'm using this plant that may or may not be sumac because it makes great prints. I'm removing the paint from around the plants with tissue paper. This is just packaging tissue paper, not archival or extra strength art tissue paper. If you wanted to have the print from around the plants that I'm getting now, you might want to use a stronger paper. I'm just saving this tissue paper for collage, so I don't mind that it's not a strong tissue paper. It's already got a little tear in it, so I'm not going to worry about that. Once I removed all the plants from the print, I dried it. You can let it air dry, but I helped it along with the mini air blower that I have. Just don't use hot air on your gel plate. That is bad for the plate, but this one blows cold air. I'm going to add some extra detail to this print with some iridescent gold paint. This is from Sennelier, and I'm just applying it with a sponge through a stencil, the totally dotty stencil from All & Create. I'm not putting paint through the whole stencil, I'm just picking it up and moving it around so I can get different sizes of dots behind the leaves. Now, if you haven't done much gel printing, you might not realize that you really have to think about the order that you lay paint down. And this is a good time to mention I have a gel printing online class. I'll link to it below. But the first paint on the plate is what is going to be at the forefront of the final print. So my leaves are going to be at the front, and these gold dotty circles are going to be behind the leaves. So I'm just adding them here and there. It's a transparent paint anyway, so it's not going to overpower the leaves. I just thought it would be pretty to have some gold. Again, I'm going to let this dry before I add the final layer of paint and pull the print. I'm pulling the print with white. You could use any lighter color. I don't want to pull it with a color that is darker than those leaves because I want them to be the main feature of the final print. I'm taking time to get this paint evenly spread over the plate and even removing a little bit of it, because this is the layer that will pull all the other layers up. So I want it to be thin and it will pull the gold dots and the original leaf prints, hopefully in one print. Oh, and I'm adding a little bit of texture too. This is a stiff cardboard with a kind of with a shiny side. It's not cardboard that I bought, it's cardboard that someone gave me, so I can't tell you exactly what the weight of it is, but it is a heavy weight. So when I cut this panel up, I've got raised panels that I can stick onto my cards. That's what I like about this cardstock. It's like it's already got an extra layer behind it to lift it a little bit. So you can see here what I mentioned before about the first paint that went down is at the forefront of the print. So the bluey green paint went down first and the leaves are at the front. The gold is behind the leaves, and then the white is the last color. It's the background. I turned this panel into 5 cards. I used stamps and die cuts. You can find all the names and details about that on my blog, heathertelford.com. Thanks for joining me. I hope I'll see you again soon. Take care.